commercial, and you know, everybody thinks they've got something that their aunt left them or something that's worth some money.
And maybe not, but...
Treasure Detectives Curtis Dowling and Andy Smith are here, and this is your business.
That's what we do, 30 years, man and boy.
Man and boy.
Man and boy. We've been doing this 30 years. Yeah, and there's still tons of stuff out there from people's houses because people give things away or all of a sudden they move and... There are things out there still worth a fortune. It's just got to be uncovered. And you'd think, wouldn't you, with all the programmes on television, all that stuff would have gone. Not true.
Not true. But a lot of us might have something, you know, in the attic that the grandmother left us or this or that. You said people do have things worth a lot of money, but it is a smaller percentage than what you would think.
A lot of the time what you find is you've got granddad or grandma's story is what makes you think something's valuable, because you do sometimes find that. Grandmas and granddads do love telling a good tale, don't they? And, you know, I got this from President Nixon. No, you didn't. You never met him. But if he tells you...
We had that story.
Exactly. Yeah, we had one. We had one where somebody said they were given something from Nixon, and it wasn't. It was just a lovely story that Grandad had told to his grandkids, and it made them happy. So, sadly, this guy thought he had, you know, the Queen's jewels, but no, all he had was the barn door.
So, yes, there's cash in the attic. That's a fact. Enough people come along tomorrow, and there's an auction straight after, so if you haven't bought something along, you can take something away with you.
Wonderful.
Bring something along. Somebody, I guarantee you, is going to say, oh, wow.
Talk to me, I know it's hard to say generally, but when you find these gems, are they mostly, is it artwork, is it a vase, is it, what is it? I mean, what's the thing that really pops?
It can be anything. We had a beautiful small Constable turn up 2 or 3 years ago worth $500,000.
A Constable?
John Constable in a
It's
box.
a tiny little painting. The guy, his father bought it at a garage sale, whole box of stuff for £30, took it away. Somebody said, that looks like something famous. Got in touch with us, we looked into it. It was a Constable painting.
$500,000.
And it sold for $440,000.
Wow. So it could be jewellery. It could be that rare Beatles record. Because if you get the first Beatles record, it's worth about $50. If it says 33 1/3 on the corner because it's the first 2 weeks pressing, it's worth $10,000.
Oh, wow.
So it's all those tiny, intricate bits that could make what you think is worth not much into something worth a fortune.
We have something to show. I think we're going to throw it up on
the Titanic Invitation?
What is this?
You know about this, guys?
Okay, this is the Titanic Launch Party Invitation. One sold about 4 or 5 years ago for $7,000. Then a couple more, 7,000, and then a couple more came out, a couple of thousand. Do you want to tell them why this shouldn't have sold for $7,000?
There's a good reason why this isn't worth a lot of money. It's because there wasn't a launch party.
Oh, really?
Wow.
You can't get caught out very easily if there's nothing to compare it to. So some clever spark decided to invent a launch party and a ticket, and all of a sudden every Titanic fan wants one.
And so it really isn't.
It's worth nothing. It's worth the paper it's printed on.
But that's why you're detectives, right? So there's a lot of research that goes into this. How do you know all this stuff about all these different things?
It's just practice. I am in the physical side of things, so I look at something and say, yes, it's real, no, it's not. And then the real research, the digging in, the provenance...
comes afterwards. There's a lot of instinct in it. We always say the same analogy. If you stood by the freeway and saw 20 cars go past, you could name them all.
Yeah.
Who taught you that? No one. You've just learnt it over years.
Over the years.
So the more you look at things, the more you touch them, the more you handle them, the smell of them, the look, the feel, everything, you start to get an instinct and you start to go, something's not right. And if you feel something's not right, it probably isn't right. But then it's the digging afterwards, which can take 9 months to do one painting.
Everyone says, you know, it's easy to say it's not real, but you need to prove it. So it's all very well saying it's not real. Then the customer, whoever that is going to say, where's the evidence? Right. And that's what we're going to be talking about tomorrow.
And where do we go?
OK, you go to AZ Elite Auctions here in Scottsdale. We're there from 12:30 onwards, and then there's the auction straight after, so you've got us for 90 minutes. Bring your items along. They're going to be part of the show. Because if we find something interesting, let's bring it up on stage, let's talk about it, let's educate. This is all about having some fun, some education, which... it's not that difficult to learn. Once you start getting the basics, everyone can be a treasure detective.
Oh, well, how fun. Sounds like a great event.
One more question. We're almost out of time.
Yes,
Best find ever?
Best find ever, a suit of armour, Negroli armour. It was the suit of armour that the King of France met Henry VIII with on the Field of Gold in 1540-odd. and it was sitting in someone's shed.
How much? Do you remember?
Well, it sold actually for less than it's worth, £2.5 million, about 25 years ago, but it is in now the Royal Collection.
Oh,
that is
wow.
awesome.
Pretty good, eh?
Do most people sell their stuff then? Or do they hold on to it?
You watch the Antiques Roadshow. I'll never get rid of it. Yeah, you will.
Yeah, you will. You say it's $500,000, you will.
Exactly. Pay your mortgage off, new SUV.
Exactly.
You're selling it.
Done.
You've got it.
Everybody's got a prize.
You guys are great.
Curtis and Andy, thank you so much. Good luck with your event.
You.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming down. All right, coming up next, these surveillance pictures are pretty grainy, but Avondale police